Coffee is made. Got my travel water. My AARP lunch bag. Final use going into work. It'll be my bag I bring onto my boat, I guess, to bring my goodies as I set off on my retirement adventures. But anyway, I am heading off right now, all fueled up and ready to go for my last day in the office. See you guys in the office. Hey everyone, last day of work. I'm retired. Hey everyone, got my ski attire on. I've decided to go skiing today. Right now, getting a cup of coffee. And what was interesting, everyone in the ski lodge yesterday was retired. I mean, it was really interesting. And I went up on one lift with these young ladies, and they're retired, and they were congratulating me because I told them that I'm going to be retiring at the end of the year. And they were saying, oh yeah, we're going to Killington on Friday. We're going to Okemo. We're going to be skiing. I mean, one guy I met in the lodge, he goes, yeah, this is his 7th day of skiing. 7th day of skiing. I mean, I still got 2 weeks till the end of the year, and he's on his 7th day, so he's got to ski at least 40 plus days a year. So I'm looking to get forward to getting skiing in. Like I said, the conditions are good. Today's supposed to get up to the upper 30s, so I'm going to hit the slopes. Hey everyone, back from skiing. It was an amazing day, so I can't complain. I'm really excited. Oh, funny things happened on the way. One was, first of all the retirees were still there. Met a bunch of them. They sort of check you out to see if you're going to be one of the new retirees, you know, in the area. A lovely couple retired on the gondola. They were there for a couple days, chatting. They're telling me about the snow on the roof, hiring a 25-year-old kid to pull the snow off the roof. Oh, they get a lot of lake effect snow. They told me they were in their mid-70s. I said, yeah, you know, I'm about to retire. And she goes, oh, wow. You're taking Social Security right now. And I said, well, I don't know. I'm thinking about, you know, putting it off for a couple years. She goes, no, do the math. Right now, it's not going to pay off. Take the money. And I'm like, oh, okay. I have a meeting in 2 days with my accountant, and you know, we'll discuss that. I'm always thinking that you might need the extra few shekels for when you get older. So if I take it 2 years early, I mean, it is a sum of money that is not small, right? Especially over a period of years. But anyway, so they were all over me about that. And then it's interesting. She goes, can I give you some retirement advice? And I said, yeah, sure, of course. She goes, wake up every day. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Wake up every day? She goes, wake up every day and take your time going throughout the day. So there was a second part of it, not just wake up. Because I'm thinking when somebody says wake up every day, then I'm thinking, okay, if I don't, that means my wife put the pillow over my head. But my lovely wife would never do that. She always hates it when in the morning I come down for a cup of coffee on a weekend and she goes, how'd you sleep? And I said, marvelously, I feel great. I woke up on top of the ground. And she hates when I say that. Opposed to waking up or not waking up and you're below ground. Besides that, she says, make sure when you wake up at the same time, make your bed, take your time. Enjoy whatever you're doing at that moment, whether it's having a cup of coffee, reading the newspaper, even if you don't like what you see in the newspaper, but just enjoy. There is no rush anymore. Take in everything that you're doing, especially your kids. And if you down the road get grandkids, no grandkids right now, and I thought that was pretty interesting because that was exactly what a friend of mine said when we put out the first video or the first vlog, and he goes, you need to do it right. So doing it right is don't rush, enjoy. There's no need to fight over anything. The flight's canceled, who cares? I'll spend another day here, right? There's traffic, who cares? Whatever. I'm in no rush anymore. It's not like I got to get in all these runs of skiing because I'm not going to have, and I'm counting, let's see, if I ski today, I'm going to get 4 more days in, so I got to get as much time in. But now, hey, I can go ski 3 hours, take 10 runs, and I'm home by midday, and I can do that tomorrow if the weather's right. So I really enjoy that, and thank you, couple from Utica, for the insightful advice. And then one other thing happened. So I decided to go to the supermarket on my way home, pick up some things for the grocery store. I'm not used to going to the supermarket. I'm spoiled. My wife does all that for me. Actually, she told me once that I'm not allowed back in the supermarket in town because I raised a complaint. You don't want to raise a complaint in a small town at a supermarket. I learned that the hard way. So anyway, when I go, I zip in and I zip out. So I went to the supermarket, and small town supermarkets, they don't seem to have a pharmacy. I know there was a Walgreens across the street, so I put my groceries in my truck and then proceeded to walk over to a Walgreens, right? It's about 1:40, I guess, in the afternoon. I walk over there and I'm looking at the store, and it's a little dark inside. And I'm thinking, what's going on? It's only 1:40, Walgreens, big chain, should be open. So I walked over there, tried to open the door, and they're closed. And I'm thinking, what? They're closed? I look up at the sign, it says open from 10 to 6. I'm thinking, well, I guess there's something wrong with the sign, or maybe everybody called in sick, or they're all skiing. Maybe they're all retirees working at the Walgreens and they're skiing now, right? But anyway, so I say, oh, well, there's other pharmacies. I can go to a CVS, I can go to another Walgreens, whatever, but everything's a drive in the country. So I walk back to my car, and as I'm walking back to my truck, I hear this little voice say, excuse me, hello, and I turn around, and it's a little old lady with her husband in a car. I say, yes, can I help you? And she goes, no, can I help you? And I said, what do you mean? She goes, Walgreens, they're closed from 1 to 2, lunchtime. And I'm thinking, Walgreens, bulge bracket store, closed for an hour for lunch. And then I'm thinking, well, that used to not be a Walgreens. It was a family store. Walgreens bought it. And I said to the lady, marvelous. Walgreens lets their employees have lunch. How great is that? And she goes, well, it's going to open in a couple minutes so you can go back. And I said, nah, there are other supermarkets. Me being from the city, you don't wait for anything, right? When I'm retired, sure, I'll hang out in front of the store and wait because remember, I don't need to rush anywhere. Then she says to me, so, you're from New Jersey. And I said, yeah, I'm from New Jersey. And she goes, where? And so in these situations, I always, say the town next to my town. So I told them, and she goes, oh, we're from New Jersey also. And they said, Franklin. And I said, yeah, I know where Franklin, New Jersey is. He goes, yeah, we moved up here. And I said, yes, I hear that the Adirondacks, which is where we are, is being invaded by New Jersey. And she goes, yes, that's what I heard too. So let me give you some advice. Change the plates on your car. Okay, I might need to change the plates on my car now. So it was an interesting day. One, I did a little bit of work. Two, I went skiing. Huzzah, it was amazing. Not much ice. Zipped down everything I did yesterday. Up, down, up, down. The only thing, 30-mile-an-hour winds. So when the wind started picking up even more, I said, you know what, I'm done. Met an interesting retiree on the gondola, gave me some great advice. Met some retirees in a parking lot of a supermarket, gave me great advice and a warning. So I would say today is a great day. So now I'm going to change, head upstairs to my loft and start working again. If you like my stories and you like what you're hearing, and if you're a retiree or not a retiree or a retiree wannabe and interested in what we do, us retirees, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. So until next time, I'm Mike.